It is quite unfortunate that people that don't have stake in Nigeria, they are the one in helm of affair. They are the one dictating for the masses in Nigeria. And when he was asked, Wike was asked on national television about the thing that Sowore accused him of, that he bought houses worth billions of dollars in America, he said that no, he's not the one that bought the house. That he boasted that his children are American citizens. The wife is an American. The children are American. And he is the minister of FCT. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is supposed to be in New York right now, where Donald Trump is addressing the whole world. He prepared to go, but at the dying minute, he changed his mind that he's not going again. And he appointed Vice President Wike, that is FCT minister, and some other people to represent him in the United States of America. And at the dying minute also, Wike had to turn it down, knowing fully well that he has a case to answer in United States of America. Please watch this video to the end. You will see the analysis and the man that spoke about this. Please follow me, watch this video, and I will come back for more.
Hello, great people, and don't finally touch yes on Wike. The wahala we dey na very serious wahala wey long from Nigeria to United States, because that wahala if he land am for 30 years imprisonment for United States as popular activist Omoyele Sowore reported yes on Wike and his apparently illegally acquired properties to the authorities of the United States for investigation and prosecution. You can see on your screen at the moment there is a topic there that says Sowore petitions Florida Attorney General seeks forfeiture of Wike's secret $6 million Florida mansions bought in cash. $6 million Florida mansions. It means say no be one, not two or three mansions bought in cash. And that is where the problem starts for yes or Wike. You know, say yes or Wike too, they do gra, they talk to anybody anyhow. But now he don't trespass to the side of Omoyele Sowore, and Sowore now they give her now. Give her waiting, give her water. Now let's go into the issues. Sowore reported yes or Wike to the US authorities, petitions the Attorney General of Florida. That means that right now, yes or Wike matter, he don't get the hand of the Attorney General of Florida in the United States, and right now they don't the reason Wike matter. Remember, say where we dey now, it's the time of Donald Trump, and that era, this particular era of Donald Trump, that no-nonsense era. If you have been following global politics, you will know what has been happening in the government of Donald Trump. Now, let us go to the consequence for yes or Wike. You see, this particular issue, Sowore as is facilitating yes on Wike's arrest. Let me give you one particular gist that some of you may not be aware of. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was scheduled to be in the United States for the United Nations General Assembly UNGA, and suddenly Bola Ahmed Tinubu decided, well, he's not attending, and he decided to send Kashim Shettima. Kashim Shettima is now attending the program on behalf of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and it was to be accompanied by governors that were supposed to follow Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And one of such people is the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. You know that FCT minister is equivalent to a governor in Nigeria. But suddenly, Nyesom Wike opted out that, well, I'm no longer going, I'm not interested. Why? As I said earlier, and don't touch him, because Sowore was actually facilitating the arrest of Nyesom Wike to the authorities in the United States. Sowore is programming it that if Nyesom Wike mistakenly followed the Vice President Kashim Shettima to the United States, they will activate the US authorities to arrest Nyesom Wike so that he can account for how he and his family were able to own 3 mansions that were worth about $2 million each in Florida, United States. You may want to do the calculation. $2 million each, that's it is reported that they have 3. That's $6 million. Press your calculator. 6 million times 1,500 naira. You can see that it's a whole lot of money. And at the end of the day, if Nyesom Wike is found guilty, what will happen? Nyesom Wike will be given 30 years in jail. 30 years in, he risks 30 years in jail in the United States. And you may want to imagine that if Nyesom Wike, with his age now, about 55 years old or thereabout, then if Nyesom Wike backs 30 years in jail, do you know what that means for the Minister of FCT? Now, let me also tell you that the US has taken over the jurisdiction of the case of Nyesom Wike, because all what Nyesom Wike is doing is within the territory of Nigeria. And now that they have reported him to the United States, definitely Nyesom Wike, his case now is with the US authorities. So the US have jurisdiction because the property is located in the United States. Now, this is where the problem is. US is not Nigeria. In US, definitely you don't have power. In US, they don't even recognize you. But in Nigeria, you can, I'm through the judiciary, you can manipulate things your way, you can do the way you like just because you are the Minister of FCT. So now this are the source of problem for Wike, because the United States obviously is not Nigeria. Then apart from that, Wike has no influence over there in Florida, indicates that if they want to institute any action against him, he will follow the course of law and follow it to the letter. There's no way he can do any wuru-wuru to the outside, any mago-mago, any corner, because why? He has no influence over there. The best he can get is to get a legal representative that will represent him in court, and that itself, it's not free, because Nyesom Wike apparently has to pay the charges of the lawyers. And some of these charges, some of these lawyers, if they see that you are a politically exposed person, they will charge you according to your portfolio and the worth of the crime that they are alleging that you committed. Now, let us go to another issue, which is as regards Nyesom Wike's wife. There have been arguments that Nyesom Wike's wife is an American citizen. They said that, well, Wike's wife, according to the Minister of FCT, said that his wife is an American citizen. Now, people have been arguing that, can somebody be an American citizen and still be a judge in Nigeria? But what I can say to that is that if you are a Nigerian by birth, if your country of birth is Nigeria, if it is not by naturalization, definitely I think you can be a judge, because looking at the wife of Nyesom Wike, she is a Nigerian by birth or Nigerian by ancestry. There are two strong citizenship when it comes to Nigeria. The one by birth, that, oh, you are a Nigerian, your father, your mother, they are Nigerians and they were born in Nigeria. That is the strongest. The second one is that you may not be born in Nigeria, but your father or your mother or any of your grandparents are Nigerians, in the sense that if your parent, either of your parents are Nigerians, even if you are not born in Nigeria, definitely you are a Nigerian. But then I'm sure about the first one, that citizenship by birth, but it leaves it a bit confusing that if your parent or grandparents are Nigerians, but you are not born in Nigeria, can you be a judge? At that one, I really can't say. I leave it to the lawyers in the house to help us through. But apparently, Nyesom Wike's wife is an American citizen and also an appeal court judge in Nigeria. Is this right? Well, as I said, I leave that to the lawyers in the house. What I am focusing on is the corruption and the political dynamics that will apparently shape the persecution, or should you like, prosecution of the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, and his immediate family. One thing that we need to ask ourselves, away from the citizenship, where maybe Nyesom Wike's wife can be a judge and be an American citizen, what we should focus on is how to repatriate our funds back. It doesn't matter whether you are a judge, whether you are a Nigerian citizen. That's none of my business. Waiting concern me now. After that money where you take by that Florida property, now Nigeria money, okay, you don't carry our money, $6 million go US. Where else will they hide our money? Oh yeah, bring the money. That is what is concerning to me the most. And I can ask that, if these properties that they are saying, if Nyesom Wike says it belongs to his wife and children, particularly his wife, as a judge in Nigeria, I know they used to fill asset declaration form. So the big question is, did Nyesom Wike's wife fill asset declaration form in Nigeria? That is one thing that we need to look into. Did she fill the asset declaration form? If yes, did they list any of those properties in the asset declaration form that they fill in Nigeria? I know that high-profile public person like permanent secretaries, governors, senators, House of Rep members, deputy governor, vice president, some of these high-profile public figures, they fill asset declaration. So it is easy to know if there are documents in the United States bearing the name of Nyesom Wike's wives, and she did not list those properties in the asset declaration form. Then we now need to say, okay, now a prima facie case has been established against you because you didn't declare this property in Nigeria. But then the authorities of Nigeria, are they going to work on that? Well, apparently no, because why? Nyesom Wike is one of the people that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is banking on for re-election in 2027. So the Nigerian government, sadly but truly, is apparently ready to trade anything to make sure that Nyesom Wike goes scot-free if needs be, just for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have a second term in 2027. Another thing that we need to look at is those particular house where they bought cash down or mortgage, because we're talking about 3 luxury mansions here. They buy the house, they buy and cash down, cash and carry, or they pay in mortgage, because 3 luxury homes is no joke at all, especially when it amounts to $6 million US. Another thing that we must look at concerning ownership of the house is that Wike said that the house was bequeathed to them by the family of the wife, that the wife's parent, who happens to be the grandparent to their own children, said that, well, you guys can have this property. So the big question is, how rich is Wike's wife's family? Wike's wife's family, the judge, the appeal court judge, our family must be very, very rich. They must be stupendously rich, because for you to give somebody house in Florida, United States, not 1, not 2, but 3 mansions for that matter, not a shop, not a room flat, mansions for that matter, 3 luxury mansions, definitely, that means your family must be super rich. So that means that Nyesom Wike is a lucky guy, if it is true, because for your wife's family to be that rich, to give your children 3 properties. Don't forget that if it is your wife's parent that gave her and your children the properties, don't forget that your wife is not the only child that they will give birth to. Your children are not the only grandchildren that they have. So that means that if your in-laws, if they have like maybe 10 grandchildren, so that means that they must have apparently have like 10 Florida properties or in other locations across the world, so that they can balance the equation. So the big question that is easy to verify is, what is the work of Wike's wife's father? What is the work of Wike's wife's mother? What is their net worth? Where have they worked in their life? And it is easy to trace maybe whether they can afford a house in Ikoyi, Lagos, not to now talk of far away Florida, United States. So it makes it interesting. But then Nigeria is Nigeria. Nobody is saying anything. Nothing is happening to Wike and his wife. Whereas if it were to be Senate claims, both Wike and the wife should have resigned or be suspended by now. If they refuse not to go, if they refuse not to bow to public pressure, then they would have been suspended for investigation, just so that they won't use their power as one of the top politicians, as Minister of FCT and a judge of the Court of Appeal, to interfere in the proceedings, because this itself has an international dimension, and definitely the United States will also be looking at what Nigerian government is doing. So it is a good opportunity for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to speak to the United States that, well, when it comes to fighting corruption, I don't mind whose ox is God. But then, if no action is taken, and Nyesom Wike is now indicted in the United States, then it will bring a lot of problems. Don't forget that some of these foreign countries, they don't give a damn. Ekweremadu, the former deputy Senate president, was jailed in the UK. Ibori was jailed in the UK. So most of these Western countries, they don't give a damn. Now, I haven't talked about the suspension pending the outcome of the investigation. Another thing is the EFCC. Why is EFCC silent? If na Yahoo boys, all these Yahoo boys will never pick. If na all people where they spray money for party, then you would have seen EFCC, you would have seen ICPC. Now then their bone would be strong. They would have arrested them. They would have, been prosecuting them by now. So what happened to Nyesom Wike? And what I can say to Nigerians is that politicians and their great-grandchildren have a secured future. Nyesom Wike has secured the future of his children, of his great-grandchildren. You that you know get future, continue to support them anyhow. At the end of the day,
so this is who we are in Nigeria. Thank God, in the United States of America, nobody know anybody, no influence. You cannot control the justice, cannot control the high court, cannot control the Florida court, cannot control anybody. Nobody knows you and you know nobody. So just go there and sort yourself out and return back to Nigeria. If I were you, by now I would have resigned as a minister in federal capital city of Nigeria. Yeah, I would have resigned. So please, in your comment section, what is your view? Please lodge your comment and make sure you subscribe to this channel and share.